20 minutes of work and I still haven't seen the spark plug yet.
On engines with the idea that they're going to lower carbon emissions. Well, look at that. I managed to get it off by only pulling the exhaust system, which meant I had to take this loose, which meant I had to take that loose, which meant I had to take that off, and I had to take off this shroud and these two engine exhaust system bolts. Clever. Just so freaking impressed. They did put a little puller on it so that you can pull the spark plug wire off. But you know, you can't you can't get to the spark plug wire until you take everything off of it. I am not impressed. To get this shroud off, I either have to pull that knob off that nylon piece, which is probably going to break it, or I have to remove the carburetor. And to get the carburetor off, I'd have to remove the linkages. And then the fuel line, which for safety's sake is wrapped in aluminum foil so that it doesn't get overheated. That tells me somebody wasn't planning very well. Okay, I have the spark plug wire off. Now I have to go downstairs and get my spark plug tester. I'll be right back. Because I have so many pieces to take off, I decided to be a good idea to bring up a stand to put all the parts on. Now this is just a simple little spark plug tester. All it does is it lets you see the spark plug end and see if it's firing. Of course, it's designed for a much smaller. The spark plug tester is designed for a much larger spark plug cable. But they wanted to make everything small and inexpensive. Read that as cheap as hell. Okay, now I'm going to see if I get any spark on that spark plug. What do you bet my chances are? Not good. Well, I got two things going for me. One, I'm getting spark on my spark plug tester. That means that my ignition system is working. Two, I'm getting fuel out of the exhaust system, pumping right by that ignition source, which meant I could have had a fire right there. But the nice thing is, chances are I got a bad spark plug. Now normally I would just go to my stock of spark plugs and get one and replace it. But it's an oddball. Now there's always the possibility that when I get this thing apart, I'll find out that all that happened is I have a carbon bridge on the spark plug itself, which means I could clean off the spark plug and everybody would be happy. What do you think chances of that are? I think it ranks somewhere in between slim and none, personally, but then I'm not the expert on the world. I'm going to get my face out of the way of that flame and try this again.
Sparking like hell. Not very blue though.
But that's telling me it's probably not the spark plug. Because if it was the spark plug, it wouldn't have been sparking. On the off chance that somehow or another, in my fiddling around with things, I managed to clean off the spark plug. Now, really guys, chances of that happening are minuscule. But before I go off on a wild goose chase trying to find a spark plug for this thing, I'm going to try putting the plug back in it and see what happens. Because my other option is to take this spark plug into town and see if I can buy one to match it. Okay. Plug wire is on. Might get noisy. At least I hope it gets noisy. Well, how's that? That is really, really annoying to go through all of this and have it be that it was just not quite seated right. Now, a wise man would just go get a new spark plug and put it in there. But then, that would mean I would have to drive into town and find one. Whereas, I can leave all this bullshit shroud stuff off of here. I don't need it. Doesn't make the engine run any better. And I can try this thing. So given my options, guess what I'm going to do? The tin shroud is not going back on over the top of the exhaust system. The plastic shroud is not going back on over the top of the line between the fuel tank and the exhaust system, because this is a snow thrower. It doesn't need a cooler. Now once I'm sure that the engine's going to run with all these pieces, of course I'll go back and put all those pieces back on. Why wouldn't I? And I will buy a spark plug and have it on the shelf because this thing is bound to fail eventually. If it's done this to me once, it'll do it again.
And don't forget to click the like and subscribe button.